Rose Studios. This is the Jericho Report you're tuning in for, and here we go, guys. We have a couple of good, or really I think we just have one guest tonight, but it's going to be Aferg. She is from AO. She is the leadership of AO, and she is going to be joining us here on the call. We are going to be doing just brief little summary on what's been going on lately, and from RVR to the one recently, and we're going to do a summary of some of the builds we have. Moogle Market is back up and running. We can't use the Moogle rewards just yet, but we got to buy extensions of it. So we're going to go over that, and we're going to just see what her thoughts and process she's going through right now on it. I'm going to get her on the phone here in a sec, and we're going to go from there, guys. All right, let me clear some stuff. All right. There we go, and let me stop the music here, and we're going to go from there.
Hi.
Hey, Ferg, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. You are on the Jericho Report, and this is just giving us a little insight about you, your guild, and some of the things that you enjoy about FF and what you've learned more or less in it. So if you want to give us a brief description of who you are in the game and what guild you're in, that'd be great for intro.
Okay. Well, we are AO. AO came to be in what, July?
Okay.
Sorry, I was asking my husband. He's also in the guild with me. And I am R5. A lot of our members used to be DA, which anybody in CC knows the guild DA. Guild D was our R5 there. Basically we are just like, we don't do anything for, like, in our guild it's nothing's about your power, mostly because I don't believe power determines, like, the number of your power. I don't think that determines how strong you are,
Right.
Because there's a lot of fake power that you can add that doesn't necessarily matter. So we don't really base things on power. We base everything on activity.
Okay.
Basically, if you're active and you're respectful, then you're in. It's really hard to get kicked. It's rare that that's happened. Extremely rare. And it's just, our thing is we're more like a family.
Okay.
I started playing in November of last year, and I was pregnant with my fourth child.
Woo-woo!
Yeah. Oh, shoot me. So, I was pregnant with my fourth kid, and I was newly became a stay-at-home mom.
Congrats.
And I moved to a new area where I didn't know anybody, and ended up downloading the game. And I started playing, and so a lot of these people I've played with since I was pregnant, they saw, I was keeping everybody updated online. When I was delivering, I had a relatively quick delivery once it actually got going, and everybody online I kept updated. My husband was sitting there updating line on my iPad while I was pushing through the whole process. It was a lot of fun. So
pretty awkward.
Yeah, well, they were there for all the ultrasounds when we found out if it was a boy or a girl.
Wow.
And because we're so much like a family, and there is a big bunch of us that have played together for a really long time.
Right.
For us, it's really like a bonding type of thing. Like we check, a lot of us talk to each other on the phone. We have each other's phone numbers. And um, our guild is fairly diverse. I mean, I think we have people in like every, just about every time zone.
Wow.
Now.
Wow.
And so, for activity, that really helps.
Mhm.
And I think activity is what makes you more powerful, because if you have the activity, then you have somebody online who's kind of keeping an eye on things. They watch all the hives. They
Mhm.
keep track of what's going on. They can watch realm chat, because I'm terrible at it. I'm awful. Realm chat, I like get midway through a conversation and then I forget that I was in realm chat. And so we're just it's a tight bunch of people. We have a lot of people who are from Germany that play.
Mhm.
And the translator in the game really sucks.
Yes, it does.
It's really awful. It makes talking to each other really difficult, but we have some members who are learning German. We have some members who they speak German and they are learning English.
Wow.
Nessa has learned some words in Arabic.
Whew, okay.
Arabic. And because we have one member who, I mean, that's just him. And it took us a long time to figure out how to like communicate with him.
Mhm.
Because the translator was really terrible. In line, you can add a translator,
Right.
but that translator repeats every single thing that's said.
Ah,
So
that's
for
right.
every message that you type,
Mhm.
if you've got a group chat going, that's really tough. But we managed out a way, and he is an R4. He is fairly active, and I respect his opinion a lot. So,
Well, huh.
even though I have the technically it says like R5 on there, Line, her and I are actually kind of co R5s, I guess.
Right.
Line, for the most part, I have the spot on there, but I mean, she has just as much say as I do and everything, but so does all of the R4s.
Ah.
So like a decision's never made that we don't consult the R4s on.
Right. That's
And
understandable.
I just kind of mediate,
Mhm.
because R4 chat can get crazy.
Of course you can.
You ask for a vote on something, and then all of a sudden you're on 6 different topics. So it's more just mediating, making sure that a decision's made. But I mean, we have some people who they are more attack than they are defense, and we have some people that are more defense than attack.
Right.
Some social players. We have some 24-hour players. We have, I mean, every type. We have some people who are just more casual. But it's rare that we get somebody who leaves our guild and stays gone.
Right. They keep coming back for more because obviously there's a family bond there for them in a way. They built a community, so they're going back to it. Interesting.
Exactly.
Very nice.
Exactly.
Well, that's really interesting info. And you started AO by yourself, correct, or with a group?
Well, actually, Corey kind of did his own thing for a little bit.
And Corey is, for the viewers that don't know.
Sorry, Gilkey.
Okay.
That's his in-game name. He kind of took a little bit of a step back from the game and just kind of started doing his own thing. So things got a little bit crazy. From the original DA group, we had lost a lot of the R4s.
Right.
And I was the active R4. And, being an R5, it gets really tedious and it's really annoying a lot of the time. But it's, it's just, for him, he kind of took the step back and whatnot. So one of my R4's buddy, he was basically like, look, we should just make our own guild and just do this so that way we can have R4s. We had people complaining that they couldn't get in and out of the guild.
Right.
And we felt like we were losing players.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to keep the family together. So we made a guild called SC.
Mm-hmm.
And then SC was around probably for a few weeks. And we talked to a couple of guilds about merging. And during that time, we took in a lot of the SCY members.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just kind of became our own type of guild, and we were like, no, let's not merge. Then we started talking to AA.
Yes.
And AA and us merged.
Ah.
And when we merged, Odin, who was the R5 of AA, and he still plays occasionally.
I see him burning a lot. Maybe that's the wrong Odin.
No, Odin. So Odin used to be really, really active, and around shortly after the merge, he kind of stopped playing. He had to take a step back,
right?
For personal reasons. So when he took a step back, he just kind of.
Yeah.
Now he gets on every now and then.
Okay.
We still hear from him from time to time. But then we became AO, and it was supposed to be Alpha and Omega for Aferg and Odin.
Right.
And Captain from AOD and Odin are actually the ones who came up with that name.
And I'm looking at your hive right now. I stumbled across it finally, but is Papa Ferg the hubby and Mama Ferg you obviously?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, you guys are really getting pretty dirty over there on those levels.
Well, it's funny because sit level doesn't matter a whole lot.
Really?
It really doesn't. I mean, I know you've said it before. You know about trapping.
Of course.
Like, so so the number in front of your that number in front of your sit, it really doesn't matter unless you have the stuff in your empire to back it up.
Of course. Yeah, obviously. You better have the research behind. You better have the mercs if you're going to be a low-level trap. Like for Kenny, buddy of mine, I always refer to him, but he has Undying, and he's got an ass load. And like you were telling me, and Misty, don't have anything that's going to get killed or not a lot of it. So when you do get hit by these big empires, don't just think you're going to be annihilated, because he's been taking rallies all day and even single shots by the big dogs lately, and he's only a 50. So I mean, yeah, definitely agreed with you.
Exactly. So the number in front of your citadel doesn't matter, and if you one of the funny things is you can look at an empire.
Yes.
You can say, oh well, their power doesn't look too high, but it might turn out that they've got 2 level 10 garrisons that aren't in their hive.
Right.
So they've got an extra 20 million troops, and they just don't have any other buildings in their empire. So they could be a 60, and they're missing all that building power.
Yep.
And instead, they're making up for it in troop power. And you just don't know that they've got that 20 million extra troops sitting around. And with going against 20 million troops, like, that's not going to be easy to do. You're hitting a wall at that point. Right.
Unless you're really pushing some stats behind your marches, and that's what running into small builds with big mercenaries, and even it takes us, like Yellow, it'll take him 30 minutes to zero somebody, because he's got the stats behind him to push through the Undying, and then etc. He makes it sound so simple, but I know he's putting down at least $100 to $200 every time he tries to burn down one of these big empires, and plus the platinum is pretty expensive.
Well, a lot of people got lucky with the platinum. Like, I'm doing, because I'm not a big spender.
Right.
But I spend more than the people who are basically the free to play players.
Right, you're a little step ahead of them. Yep.
Exactly. So I basically spent like a lump sum to catch up.
Yep.
But it's not like I buy packs on the regular. Like, I'm not the first one with everything when it comes out, you know. So for me, like, the platinum packs and stuff, like the glitch platinum pack, if you got a few of those and just kind of held on to it until the packs got better with the speed ups rather than just using all of that platinum, then you have an empire like me, who I'm not doing too bad on my platinum because I had that glitch pack, so it's not as big of a deal.
Okay. And this glitch pack, I'm guessing it was a pack everybody bought that was just pure garbage, so they kind of refunded to y'all, or? No. Okay, so everybody's calling it a glitch pack. Because it was a sales test pack. Basically what it looks like is the packs weren't ready to launch. Right. So like the platinum pack, it had 1.8, 2. I think it was 1.9 trillion platinum. Oh my gosh.
And then it had a bunch of gold, and that's basically all it had. It had no resources. It didn't have the rest of the pack loaded in.
I would love that.
It was fantastic. And then they had another one that had everything was in nines, so it came with like 999,000. Was it 999,000 or 9,999,000 Noctis medals? So they ended up fixing. It was 999,999 Noctis mythic medals. Yes. And they ended up adjusting the pack to 99,999. Right. But then it had, I think it was 9,000 Shiva empowerment sigils. And, you know, everything was in nines. It had 9 expansion, blueprint, expansion teleports or whatever. It had garrison prints in it. It was a pretty awesome pack. And this was not too long after Shiva had come out, but up until this point, you didn't really have the option to buy a ton of them in the mogul events. Right. When these packs happened, so, you know, getting that many rather than like 3,000 or 2,000, which was what was being offered in packs, was really awesome.
So you guys kind of really just got it. I mean, you guys kind of saw it, you took advantage of it, and then that's, in a way, in a certain manner, that's where you're at right now, is because of that? I wouldn't say it's necessarily because of that. Okay. But it does, things like having the platinum, and just like when you use gold, so if you're using gold instead of platinum, having gold and having platinum allows you to do the events. Right. Doing the events generates more rewards, and those rewards allow you to progress. Right. Right. So that, I mean, that helped a lot. That glitch pack is basically what helped me get to, I think it was 63 or 64, because when those packs came out, they didn't have the 50% off or the 75, whatever ridiculous thing they're calling it. It's like 90% resource cost reduction, 5% cost efficiency, and, you know, all you had were the Oracle prints, or the Oracle discounts, the 50% off resources, you know, the normal ones. And so I got those when the skeleton boss came around, when I was, I think I had just hit SIP 50 or SIP 51. Right, right. And I got my elite reducers. Elite resource reducers. And I made sure I put priority on those because I know that I'm not a big spender. Right. And everybody was talking about how necessary that was. So that, I mean,
listening to the advice of other people
Yes.
is the only reason why I've been able to make it so far without spending so much money.
Right, of course, yeah. That's really, for me, I'm not a big guy, as in throwing things into the game, but at the same time, I try to keep up. I'll usually give it a good month or 2 month spread before I actually go back into doing what I would do like Yellow does. But, these guys that drop crazy amounts, I mean, they're not that far ahead of everybody. Like, looking at you and you telling me how you progress, it makes me actually feel good about myself, I'm just like, okay. But
I mean, honestly, when you talk to the bigs, so like Biz, even though Biz can be a bit crass sometimes.
Okay.
Biz is a really helpful person.
Right.
He might not tell it to you like you want to hear it.
Right.
But he can give you some really good information.
Yeah. Does I don't know if you listened to Aegon's interview, but he was talking about, build the smalls, help the smalls. He was really pressing it on his interview, and I didn't understand, coming from a big like him and their realm, but then watching this last RVR, I was just like, hey, we kind of pushed everybody to their limits on this one, where, hey, do the events, get those ports, participate, and that really it looked like it made a bigger difference in the end run.
If the bigs help the smalls, then the smalls are more inclined to comply with the bigs.
Right.
So one of the big things during this last RVR was, it was hard to find people to zero.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, you had to find people to zero. I think I ported for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up with 10 billion points.
Wow.
That's not very much.
No.
That should be a lot higher.
No.
And my husband even held the crystal for a little bit until Gizmo came around.
Congrats, Ferg.
even though I shouldn't say that, because holding the crystal matters nothing to RVR.
Isn't it just point accumulation? I mean, there's not a big point spread on the holding the crystal itself. I think it's only...
Holding the crystal does not earn you enough points
correct to win.
Sit your empire next to it and hold it.
Yeah.
Unless people are trying to take it and you are in another realm and they are failing. Right.
I agree. We've done the math on that one.
Exactly. So, but I mean, if you... And Aegon has it right, and I completely agree, which is why I say we don't base our guild on power.
Right.
You have to help the smalls. You have to encourage the smalls to participate.
Mm-hmm.
You have to help them grow.
Mm-hmm.
You have to help them with their defenses. You have to help them just like run Guild Adventurers Hall, or like when they were running the raid bosses early on.
Mm-hmm.
The smalls need that gear because they need to be running Sanctum.
Yes.
To be getting those chests, to be getting those power-up chests, to be able to make their empire stronger. And if you have a team of littles backing you up, like, there's no one that you can't find on the map.
Right.
If you have active littles that, they're playing and growing as much as they can, but they're active,
mm-hmm.
you have somebody keeping an eye on you, on your guild at all times.
Right.
And then they don't mind dismissing their troops for things like RVR, or sending their heroes to bigs for RVR,
mm-hmm.
because they understand the value in that. Because they get... So if I asked you, when you have T6 troops, right? Because
mm-hmm.
T6 are gold mines for RVR for points.
Right.
If you have T6 troops and I asked you to dismiss all of your troops, one of the big things that you're going to say is okay, well, I mean, I have speed ups for it,
mm-hmm.
but I don't have all that much platinum, and all these resources cost platinum.
Right.
But if you have a big that's willing to sit there and fill that little with the resources to rebuild, they're not going to argue with rebuilding.
Right.
Or dismissing their that's not going to be as much of an argument.
Right. It's a give and take type of method.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And especially now that a lot of people are getting into the 70s, you have the elite resources.
Mm-hmm.
And elite resources are tough. But if you're over 70, you don't need those as much.
Right.
So like I said, it's a give and take. If you don't need them, like I still need them, and I still send them to people in our guild because I know that I have more platinum than them.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rather see them grow and continue to remain active than me just wait 3 days or a week or whatever until I get another pack.
Right. Right. Yeah, 3 days. Excuse me. Are you a big now? Are you buying every day?
Well, but the way these events are going.
Yes, I agree. But see, I think that's where they actually went for the Moogle market. They do cryptocurrency now, as in the actual extension for it. As in, Moogle credits, they're self-sufficient. By the way, we're taking this out of the game, and which a lot of people are just destroying the tile itself and doing the multipliers or whatever. But
the Moogle tile has always been pointless.
Even when you had the credits?
I mean, if you're little and you're relying, so here's the thing: before, when they had it, if you had the Moogle market and you were using those credits, that meant that you were spending money. If you were spending money, then you were doing the events because the events generated rewards that you needed. Right. So then you got the Moogle credits from the rewards. So maybe initially for, a month or two, but it really is, it's not something that, it was great for teleports and skill resets. Right. Back when loyalty was hard to get.
Yes. And it still is hard to get. Even after 2 million, 2.5 million loyalty, I'm still kind of like, well, I can't get a hero reset. Where can I get something like that? I don't want to spend a little more to get a hero reset for one hero usually. That's what's really stupid about it. It's usually for one hero.
Exactly, and that's why the Moogle credit was fantastic. But a lot of people, as far as the hero skill resets, if you're buying a hero pack, a lot of them come with the hero skill resets, and most people at this point, they're either they're a big and they know where to put the skill points, right, or B, they're a little and they aren't really sure where to put the skill points, but a lot of them just wait to put the skill points until they can ask a big, or at least in AO, that's what it is. Like, we have one of our members who's a newer member. He came to us after the merge, and he leveled up his Gladius, and I'm like, awesome, make sure you get your skill points set right. And he's like, I haven't put anywhere. And I'm like, perfect, you can talk to Gilkey, and Gilkey can help tell you where to put those skill points. Right. I know some about defense, but everything that I know about defense is I've learned mostly from a big either telling me or I learned the lesson the hard way. Like when my Guardians, King of Boom and King Rugged or Sir Rugged, right, and back when they were 1%, 1% or God, sometimes I would get ambitious and go attack next to white. And now you see why I said I got ambitious. And this is back before I was spending. Right. up until about July, I had only spent, I think it was $105.
Oh, wow.
So, I wasn't a big spender, and I would get a lot of gold, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I almost always got zeroed. And any of the free mercs that everybody had or whatever, yeah, all those died. They all died. My guardians died. Anything that you could train at Merc Pits level 1, which is all I had until I think August. Yeah, it all just died.
Wow.
So I learned those lessons the hard way, but I made sure to take advice from people like Corey and White. They're awesome for advice. Misty obviously knows what she's doing. Brazen knows what he's doing. Boom. There's somebody in just about every guild that, they know what they're doing. And if you are patient enough to ask a question and wait for the answer, you're going to get an answer. Right.
I think a lot of times we get impatient in game, and it really just affects the whole community. Even if it's on these little mini events, we start getting flustered about, where's this tile, where's that tile, and stuff like that. And it's okay, but you see it in the next RVR. All that whelped up of no communication between the people, it'll affect the RVR almost. Not as many will participate because they're holding grudges or whatever.
It dramatically affects RVR.
Oh yeah, and I've seen it from day one. You're a Crestholm baby, are you not? Or are you a Weaver baby?
No, Crestholm.
Okay, so do you you've been playing about how long? Since the beginning, or?
So I started playing in November of 2017. It was probably a week and a half to 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Okay,
so that's trying to do the math here.
13 months.
Yeah. Okay, so this is you're on a year and a half. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, I was. Now, when I started playing, and actually, I was in my first realm was Mysterious Haven.
Yes.
And then there was a realm merge. And that's when I ended up in Crestholm. And but in Mysterious Haven, I'd been on the game for maybe a few hours or something, and I was trying to figure out how to do something, and I could not figure it out. So I got into realm chat, and I was in a dead guild, of course, because everybody at this point was in a fairly dead guild.
Right.
And it's the random whatever guilds, and so I was like, hey, can anybody please answer my question? I don't know what's going on here. And at the time, Mercy, she was the R5 of DA back in Mysterious Haven, and she invited me to DA. And somehow in Mysterious Haven, DA was a really strong guild.
Right.
And I'm sure that had to do with Mercy and how she was recruiting. Somehow I ended up as an R4. Now, mind you, I have never played a war game before, ever. So I had no idea what I was doing.
Right.
And then when the realm merged, we actually merged with TBM, which is now a guild again. And that is actually Gilkey and Zena and TBM, and they're awesome. But we merged their entire guild. And then that's when we became DA, and somehow they, for whatever reason, they kept me as an R4. But the entire time, through all of this, I had no idea what I was doing. Zero idea. It took me until 18 or something,
right,
or before I knew you didn't have to feed troops.
Feed troops, as in, or be troops?
Feed troops, like your upkeep efficiency.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I wasn't able to train more troops than my upkeep would allow. So my empire was sitting there full of farms trying to keep up with my upkeep efficiency. Because I had no idea. I thought they would just like die if I didn't feed them.
Huh. Weird. I know when we first started, the good thing is when we first started, I have Weaver. Weaver was the last merger, and we were in 2 others prior to it. We started when the game was level 1, right? So when we started, we had gathered all these people up, all obviously the biggest, the baddest, and then we had I don't know if UNA or UNE is still around, but me and UNE stayed Alliance, and we just kind of stayed around the Crystal for like a solid week, and then they merged us, and then Welland came around, and then Canna, and then all the bigs of the big came around. When what was it? The Three Kings, I don't know if you've ever heard rumors, that was constructed solely for the Crystal and RVR. But, of course, you had 3 very powerful guilds in the realm controlling kind of the direction of who held what type of thing. And it worked for a little bit, but it didn't.
Yeah, I will say one of the things that was awesome about growing up in Crestone was we had realm rules. And, our bigs, I can't thank all of them enough for that. I probably would have quit way before if we didn't have that. So when everyone hit, basically, everyone's, the bigs started all hitting 20 and stuff.
Right.
You only got 1 prisoner bonus.
Right.
You only got your banishment, your prisoner boost wasn't very much. There wasn't any real reason to hold a hero that you couldn't ban it.
Right.
So the realm rules were made, and the realm rules, I'm really surprised, they did last for quite a while. And so if you were over 20, you hit within your levels. Right.
And which now it's a lot harder to do, obviously, because you have...
Of course. But, for example, like, in our guild, and we did have a member who we removed from this for hitting a DOD member. They,
you don't have to be nice just on the radio show. It literally...
No.
I know
it's not really being nice. The first time that it happened, I said, hey, this isn't okay. And then it happened a second time, and I'm like, that's it.
Right.
Like, this is just mean. Like,
right.
That's not who we are.
Right.
And you don't hit... There is no reason for you to hit an empire that's under 25 or 30 that's in our realm. And it's getting to the point where there's not a reason to hit an empire that's under 40.
Yeah.
Because that's somebody's farm. It's not an active player. There aren't very many active players that are 30 or under. Right.
I do agree. Yep.
I mean, we have one player who I've been playing with him since the beginning. His name is Jeremiah. He is fabulous. I love him. And he is, he gets on every now and then. He went through a spell when hurricane hit North Carolina. Which one was that? I live in Florida, so.
Oh, okay. You live by Shar then. Shar, AF leader.
Yeah. So, whatever hurricane hit the Carolina coast this year, he was actually on the coast.
Right.
So he went through a spell with that, and he is actually not on the game currently.
Uh-oh.
He got into a really bad car accident. so he hasn't been on.
Mm,
So
I'm sorry to
we're
hear
on
about that.
but you know, he himself, like I said, he's not on all that often. You know, I think the most he's ever paid is $25, and he's not super active or anything like that. And he himself, I think he's SIP 40 now.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit higher, and he doesn't even play that often. So,
Right.
I mean, if you think about hitting an Empire that's lower than that,
Yeah.
you know, it to me, it doesn't, at that point, you're hitting more to out of anger rather than like, hey, we're playing a game
Right.
and I want to earn a hero. And you know, for me, that's a respectful thing. Like, and you know, Boom said it, I think it was earlier today in the Cricklaw training chat that there is. He said it best. You know, if it was a one-hit zero for every single person, you know, like,
how often would you hit, type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, are you really earning the hero if you're just constantly just having to one-hit zero everyone?
Right.
So, you know, part of the fun is the hitting and the, you know, it might be fun to do for like an RVR.
Yeah, that's always good bragging rights. But I mean,
yeah,
we're in a realm that's obviously we're not going anywhere, and there's not going to be a merge unless we just really start doing horribly. And I wouldn't know with who.
Yeah.
But a lot of these like. There was a couple guys I saw today just collecting low-level heroes just for the shits and giggles of it, I guess, to have that title. I'm not a big hero capturer. I don't capture heroes. I've never have. I literally have one banishment, and that made me cringe whenever I did it because I know how it is. I know how it feels. And to get somebody, like, obviously I'm gonna banish if there's a guy that's really like going after me and just won't stop and give up the hero, but other than that, I'm not gonna go out and hunt. I'm here for the events. I'm here for the I'm still learning, and every day there's a new thing to learn. I'm still learning, so to go and pick up heroes like a lot of us do sometimes, I don't find the necessary task behind it. So if you do, congrats to you.
I agree. I'm not, you know, and part of that is being R5 or being R4.
Right.
Either or. You know, when you have members who lose their heroes and there's an event going on, they get upset and they get aggravated, and then you see the activity go down.
Yep.
And so for me, I'm not a big hero hunter.
Right.
And if you look at my heroes banished versus my heroes captured, I'm one of those people where if you ask me nicely, I'm probably going to return the hero.
Right.
So if it's RBR and you ask me nicely, I'm probably going to go back to my realm and then return it.
Right.
But you can get speed ups and use speed ups. You know? But I'm probably going to return it because to me it's just, if you ask politely, like, hey, I'm an idiot, I bubbled, I should have just rallied, you know. Every now and then you'll port, like last RVR, I ported to a hive and somebody is hitting monsters, and I'm like, you do realize you're SIP 49, there are no instant packs, so it's not like you can magically have, you know, T6 or T7 in there. The most that you have is your guardians, but you don't have the troops to back up those guardians. Right. So I'm like, this doesn't seem like a very smart idea. And so I hit them and I timed it right, and they didn't have time to ghost rally between when their hero returned and when my attack hit. Right. And immediately they were like, oh my god, I'm so dumb. I'm so sorry. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. Like, your hero.
Oh, that's awesome.
Said, hey, can you please return my hero before you leave this realm?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, you know, whatever. Like, you can have your hero back. I don't really care that much. And, you know, I returned the hero because when my port ends, you know, that prism boost,
Mm-hmm.
In our guild, we have a rule that during RVR, we don't attack in our realm.
Right.
So, unless somebody attacks you first.
Right.
Like from our realm.
Yeah.
And that there's no reason to attack an invader in our realm.
Right.
So for me, like, we don't attack people in our own realm. Like, I'm porting back for a 24-hour RPR. I'm gonna banish that hero. I think it was a level like 24 Cindy that they were leveling or using the NP on, and I was like, that banish timer is like 6 hours or 8 hours or whatever. Like, I don't really care that much. I'm not getting much of a prisoner boost from it. Like, I might as well just let it go.
Right. And that's good that you do that. I mean, it gives them something to grow with, obviously. If I know they're not pay to play, obviously, I'm not going to keep the hero. There's no reason, because I know how hard it is as a free to play player to grow. I know us, we get it, and we go, and we're just a step ahead of them. My friend in another realm, she's in the Chicago realm, or whatever the hell it's called, but it's in another server. But she started playing, and she plays free to play. All she does is grind out the events. She's a level 46, so she doesn't pay. She just goes straight events. And I was just like, wow, that's phenomenal. As a free-to-play player, your growth at that expended rate is, you're literally a step behind everybody. And it's really cool to watch.
It really is, especially when you, especially, like, for me, I take pride and joy, just like the other R4s that we have.
Right.
In seeing, like, our guild members like, grow and get stronger. One of the things that I do, especially with some of the people who are in our hive or in one of the closer hives to me, is we'll run test attacks, and I'll send hero and full elementals, Shiva, traps, monsters, everything, this full attack.
Right.
And the goal is to cap my hero. And because one of the hard things to do right now is to cap a hero with Shiva.
Yes, absolutely. If you have high enough health on your Shiva, they're not going to do anything. So the question about that, though, what do I need to put in? Go ahead.
That might change with the new Astral.
You think Leviathan's going to change that?
I think having 2 Shivas in your empire when you're being attacked by one Shiva could make a big difference.
As in what way?
Being able to cap the march.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I mean, having 2 Shivas in the empire, but, again, it's going to matter how you have your Shiva skilled. Because, you could, if your Shiva's at a home fire and your, let's say you're offline, your Shiva's set for defense, however you set it for defense. If somebody's just sending solos at you and your Shiva doesn't have any boost in their HP regeneration, your Shiva's going to die and not regain enough health fast enough for it to matter that you have it in your empire.
So, with these skills for the Shiva, is there any particular ones you suggest to level up first? Obviously, with level 100 Shiva, you can max all the ones out. But at the moment, I am working on Mirror Image, and that's just health regeneration. But with a Leviathan also, is there just any particular way you would do the skill traits? Let's say you're just defending.
So, for defense, personally for Shiva, I don't completely skill her for HP and armor because of defense.
Okay.
the cripple HP is nice, especially since you don't get. So when you're attacking, you get cripple HP from a lot of different places.
Right.
Because you can get it from your monsters, your gear, your gems. Like, there's so much that you can. That cripple HP you can boost that cripple HP.
Mm-hmm.
But for defense, you can't get it from as many places.
Right.
So if somebody has, let's say, 80,000 HP, 80,000 percent HP boost, that 3,000,
it's not going to do much.
It's not going to do a ton, but since you can't get it anywhere else, like, it's not like you can send a monster to add another 2,000 onto that. That's going to weaken their troops. And I use Gladio for defense. Gladio is the best for defense if used correctly. And so if you're able to do, like, the steal enemy HP while crippling their HP, you know, to combine all of this, and gradually increase your HP while decreasing theirs, that's something to be said. Because so from what I've learned, and this comes from multiple people, the way an attack works is it's literally coded for the attack to go basically like a certain timed amount, like what would happen in that timed amount, which is why sometimes, like, the attacker doesn't go all out until all their troops are dead,
right,
and do the maximum amount of damage.
Right. So keep going.
Your troops need to stay alive long enough to be able to fight them off, but they also need to be able to kill them off fast enough.
Okay. So what would you... Okay, you put a Gladys in. We got Goldies in there. Is there any, like, extra things we need as, let's say, mediocre players? You know, we have all the heroes. We are trying to skill this Glado out. I mean, obviously go straight into steal enemy HP, steal enemy attack, and then turn around and get that spiked armor?
You know, at this point, it really depends on what level your Gladius is.
Okay.
Because if your Gladius is high level, which even if you just have the market unlocked, at this point, you know, you could easily have a 125 Gladius. Right. That's fairly easy to have. And so with that, you're able to have a lot more of the skills done because it's so much higher. So I mean, personally, steal enemy HP, steal enemy attack, spiked armor, warrior mastery, and then I always do attack, then HP, then armor. So attack, HP, then armor. Any reason why you go straight into attack first? So attack is important for both attacking and defending. Okay. And there's somebody who writes a blog on I'm trying to remember the name. Okay. We'll definitely get a recap for it. There's somebody who writes a blog and does, like, videos and stuff about the game. And they make some really good points. Like I said, it is time. So if you can't kill their troops before their troops have time to do a ton of damage to you, then they're going to do more damage. You have to be able to kill their troops. Right. So, you know, troop attack is what lets you do that. You know, if your troop attack is higher than somebody else's, their march is going to die before your march does, because you deal more damage. So whenever you're doing the Glado, go ahead and max out the warrior attack and warrior HP and then the armor for it, correct? Yeah. Well, I mean, I say yes. That's how I have him done. I mean, it really depends on the person. I mean, if you're really trying to like save platinum, I mean, you could always skill for the training speed.
Right.
And you don't have a defense hero if you do that.
Right.
You get gathering march size, but then again, you don't have a defense. That's not a usable hero for combat, whether you're defending or attacking.
Right. I mean, most of
kind of becomes Ignis.
Yeah, I do gotta agree with that. Ignis is definitely, he's working with the mage and he's working with the, what is it? It's not traps, is it? It is traps, I thought.
Ignis Siege, which
yes.
Siege are worthless.
You hurt my feelings there.
Apparently Siege are just being like, well, I mean, you have to think about it. There's no elemental Siege.
There isn't.
But I mean, so Ignis is Siege and traps.
Right.
So, and research.
Right.
And so Ignis is for research.
Okay.
And the max trap capacity is really, for a long time I thought it was really worthless.
Right.
And I still kind of feel like it's a little bit worthless. But, you know, I had Misty attacked me today with doing the event. And I had sent all of my guardians out, and she hit just the web cannons, the new traps.
So they are worth the web cannons. You obviously like them.
I was really shocked because I hate traps.
Right.
In my opinion, traps are worthless. They've
right.
always been worthless.
Of course.
And you will burn with traps no matter what.
Right. If they kill any number. Yep.
Exactly. However, I was really surprised that with web cannons, I'd only lost 250,000.
That's not bad.
680k T7 March.
Yep.
Now keep in mind, if somebody hits you with, you know, Leviathan, level 100 Leviathan hero, and
she's gonna double the
you're gonna burn.
Right.
If you have traps.
Right.
So, you know, I still believe in that. But if you're one of the lower players, those web cannons definitely give you a little bit more of a boost than I was expecting them to.
Was your Shiva present whenever she hit you?
Yes, my Shiva was present, and my Shiva was kind of skilled for defense.
Okay.
For defense, I try to, most of the time, I have a split between the city defense armor and the regain HP, and then attack.
Okay.
So, have you ever seen where somebody tries to hit an empire, and they hit an empire that's only got Shiva and hero,
yes,
and they don't and they lose,
yes,
they can't get the hero,
yep,
and you have to send, like, you know, the back-to-back marches really close.
Yep.
That's a well-skilled Shiva because she's regenning her health quick enough, her HP, and then you have enough attack that Shiva is killing more troops than she's losing in health. So even though you killed 1,000 of her HP, which counts as 1,000 troops, you as Shiva, you killed 3,000 troops.
Right.
So it's really funny to watch. We had one member who ran into the issue, and it took 3 or 4 times. This was about a month and a half ago.
Right.
So, you know, but they were like, "Oh my god! Like, why can't I get this hero?" It was really funny because Shiva would be wiped out.
Right.
But it doesn't matter because you can't capture a hero if you lose.
Right. And if they lose, you can, yeah. Interesting. So even if your Shiva's at 0, you can't be captured, or
if you're like, if, let's say I attacked you, right?
Right.
And you got your hero and Shiva, and your Shiva has 25 health.
Right.
If I sent a full march at you,
Mm-hmm.
you would kill more than 25 of my troops
Mm-hmm.
if you have a Shiva that's skilled right.
Mm-hmm.
So I would lose. I could wipe your Shiva, 0 health, and because I lost, I still can't capture your hero.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, I get what you're saying now. Interesting. Very interesting. Because I'm working on her. I just got her to 72, and I just realized I need a lot more sigils to get her to 100. Try about 3,200. Close to about that.
Yeah, 497. What was it? 497,491, I think.
Oh. Oh.
From taking it from 1 to 100.
Wow.
And for what's the new one? Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same so far.
Okay, that's good. So I bet you guys are practically working on your Leviathan this event, which is phenomenal.
So I am working on Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't have Leviathan yet.
Wait. What? Oh, you did the glitch thing again, didn't you? Or
No.
it came in free.
Nope.
Okay, fill us in. What's the trick?
There is no trick. Just because you don't have something at that moment doesn't mean you're not going to need it.
Re-explain that.
So, for example, my Astral Shine is level 1.
Yep.
There is no Leviathan in my empire.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I can't buy sigils.
Ah, okay.
So that way I have them. So that way when I do get it,
you'll have the sigils for it.
Level it up.
Gotcha. Do you think...
Because level 1 is... Honestly, if the low levels, they aren't going to be as helpful as, let's say, I spend... So, if I spent... I'll tell you what it is, because I'm looking at the game right now. So, that would be 26, which is 13,000. 13,000 sigils, which is 19,448 of these little trophies, would get my Leviathan to around the 30s.
So it's pretty much, he's just like the Shiva in some manner.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and for example, we have the Shiva realm. And I know a lot of people who didn't spend money didn't see any point to go to the Shiva realm.
Right.
I, on the other hand, went to the Shiva realm anyway. And got sigils because I'm like, you know what? Eventually I'm going to need them.
Right.
And if you look at everything that way, like eventually I'm going to need them.
Right.
Then when you do need them, you'll have them. And you got them for free rather than for paying for them.
Yes. You're ahead of the curve whenever you take advantage of these little opportunities to open up, which is phenomenal.
And it's important to do, especially if you're not spending. And
yes.
Since I'm not a big spender, stuff like that, it was, for the longest time, that was the only way I got any mercs that I had. That was the only way that I got any blueprints or tomes or anything. Was by doing the events. I mean, my merc pits, I ended up getting to level 2 without paying a dime.
Wow. That's phenomenal. And that's because you were running Hall, correct?
No. With a while ago, there were events that you could sit on tiles and you could get merc pits blueprints from the
I must have missed this one.
Get materials for it. I mean, and that's where you got things like uncapturable hero boost back before, the Crystal Nexus existed.
Okay. I came right after all that got closed down. Because I came back about 2 to 3 months ago, and it's been a struggle catching up to you guys because some of you guys do have these little perks you already know. The hero thing with the monsters, I didn't know about the max hit, and then changing out your armor. There was another little perk someone told me about the dungeon. How you can just, if you die in the dungeon, all you got to do is switch armors and you come back alive.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of little tricks and stuff. I mean, things like the Cindy glitch, which I believe we have Aegon thank for that, because I believe that was something that Aegon had posted that somebody in my guild saw. But you know, things like that, you know, it's little tricks that you learn here and there, and it makes a huge difference.
Right.
And I mean, it all comes back to, you don't necessarily have to spend all the money that the bigs do to be able to hold your own and be able to, because for a long time, for me, I was worried about my ghost rally 24/7. I made a farm because I was so worried that I had set a ghost rally on somebody else's account. Overnight, it was gonna like jump to 20, and they were gonna capture my hero. My hero has only ever been
banished once.
It's been banished once, and that was by Biz on my honeymoon. I was so mad. I was so mad. We had woken up super early in the morning to drive to Orlando to spend 2 days at Universal. And it was after the first day, my bubble was dropping in like 2 hours, and I was like, "Oh, I'll wait to do it, and you know, for a couple of hours." And I had passed out, and down went my bubble, and there went my hero.
Is that where baby number 3 comes in?
No, not quite. But I mean, that was the one time that like I had my hero captured, and for a long time I couldn't sleep. Like, I was paranoid. Like, I'm like, oh my god,
really?
You know, if my hero's going to be captured, I don't want my hero captured, because I mean, one of the things about being a little in a guild, which I was a little basically for a long time, is your one job is to protect your hero.
Yes.
You have to protect your hero, and as long as you protect your hero, then the bigs can do what they need to either attack or retaliate or whatever, but at least they don't have to worry about jumping back to the hive to reinforce.
Right.
They don't have to worry about going on the line chat to alert you.
Yep.
And so that was your one job, was protect your hero. And it was a big jump when we went to 20. It was a huge deal, because at 20, all of a sudden, all these over level 20s could attack you. Right. And because of the realm rules that we had. And so it was like, all of a sudden your hero can be banished. And I mean, we have one of our guild members, Pride Oreo.
Yep, we know Oreo.
Yep, we love Oreo. Her and I have been playing together for almost the whole time, or the whole time. Wow. When I know her and another one of our members, MRAP, they went to 20 together and kind of became build buddies. Because at that point in the game, it was so important that you had all of your buildings 220 or 219 ready. Like, when you went to 20, like, you had to be ready to go. Right. You had to be ready to unlock T3. Wow. And so in our guild, and Corey preached at Carias. Carias was, and still is, and will always be, a legend in my eyes. He is awesome. He's absolutely fantastic. He always said, be a bubble or be a trap. Yep. And, he was one of our big hitters. He was one of the, the really strong guys that, we were like, man, you know, I want to be like him. You know, he was very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
He was very diplomatic. And he's just all around a really nice guy. It's basically, you know, when I think about like the game and everything like that, I'm like, man, you know, he did everything like the right way. He always had like all the newest stuff like unlocked and would tell us about it. And he, in our realm, I'm not sure if this ever happened in your realm. He's the only time that I've ever seen a realm boss one hit from 97% to dead.
What? How?
Yeah, it was apparently lucky shot, and the it was the Iron Giant.
Wow.
And he got an epic giant or legendary giant slayer sword.
Oh my goodness.
Back when that was like the thing.
Yeah.
You had to have that.
Yep.
And yeah, it was really cool. It was really awesome. But he's such a humble player too.
Mm-hmm.
So
huh.
You know, he's really an awesome person if you ever get to meet him. He does still play. He is in AO at the moment.
Oh, okay, nice.
But he was in ASN for a while. You know, he's jumped around to different guilds. I think for a little bit he was in LD50 because he was in DA when White was in DA.
Right.
But you know, that was quite a man. White hasn't been in DA in a long time.
So we're getting kind of close on time, but we had questions about AO and LDSO and Loki. What is the grudge match? Is there a grudge match? Is what's really happening behind the scenes? If you want to help us.
Who?
What between the three guilds? I mean, obviously, everybody sees Dot as what it is with yellow.
You know what's funny? So I did see in Realm Chat there was a little bit of something going on.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what's going on with it. I haven't had a chance to ask anyone. But I did read it briefly. I was trying to figure out what was going on, and then they were like, "Oh, well, I would have done this weeks ago." And I was like, "What are you talking about weeks ago? What did I miss?" That is the one place where my R4s keep me updated when I need to know something.
Right.
LD50. So one of the big misconceptions in the game is that like LD50 is an extension of AO.
Yes.
But they're not.
Okay. They seem like their own individual guild from looking around the crystal and stuff. I mean, maybe there's a sister bond there that, you know, you guys just have mutual respect for.
We are, so White and me, Oreo, Corey, Nick Monday.
Yep.
There's more people. I mean, even Buddy, Sarah or Shira. I mean, all these people, like they were playing in DA.
Mm-hmm.
When White would still jump back and forth between DA and LD50, or they've been playing with White since the beginning.
Right.
And you know, DA was a family, and even though we have a new name,
mm-hmm.
You know, we still have that family aspect, and White is family.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But White does his own thing.
That's kind of what AF and Yellow and a lot of these others, they kind of go everywhere else in the realm. You know, we still see them as Weaver family, but at the same time, they all do what the hell they want. I mean, if they go burning, they go burning. There's nothing you can do. You know,
LD50 they're their own entity. So, like, if they make a decision within their guild, I'm not consulted on it.
Right. Right.
You know, I talk to White, not nearly as often as everyone thinks that I do. But you know, I talk to White, and but it's not like he says, hey, by the way, we're going to go do this. Is that all right with you?
Right. There's none of that bullshit.
Anybody knows White Death, like, those words would never leave his mouth. He doesn't need somebody's permission to go do what he's going to do.
No.
And that's why he made LD50.
Right.
Because he was like, I make my own rules and I'm going to do my own thing.
Right.
And I don't want anybody else to suffer because of it.
And so LD50 is kind of the extension of, oh, there's no crying in here. If you get capped, you get capped. We'll help for a little until kind of you bug off type of thing. Because they get hit constantly. I mean, we war with them on a daily basis now, between them and Loki. So, I mean, I don't know.
And here's the thing. It's funny. Everybody thinks that we have some, like, NAP or alliance with Loki.
Right. I don't know. It was said earlier this morning that there was something. Is just, we're not going to put it as, oh, yeah, there's an alliance. Maybe there's mutual respect.
It's funny. So Loki and AO, there are a lot of members that get along.
Right.
There are some members that, we have some of our members who are not so fond of some of the members of Loki.
Right.
And there are some Loki members that are not so fond of either me or some of the other members of the but it's more of a matter of like mutual respect. Like, if Loki comes and attacks us, they're coming to attack us, and it's a game, it's a war game, and I think Twisted by far said it best. You can't nap the realm. Right. But you can have a sustained mutual respect with somebody that they're not going to come sit, you don't need to go sit in their hive. Right. And farm them for 3 days. Right. And I think, we're lucky enough to have Loki because they are awesome people. But, I mean,
I got a question. What's this tier 4, hidden tier 4? Because I just hit it and I'm not happy.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm not happy. It's 18,000 K. Oh, gosh.
It's 18,000, but if you look at the event, so if you have 4,500 points right now, yeah, or as of a couple hours ago or whatever, when the day changed over in the game, then you're on track to hit tier 4. Ooh. It's 8,000 points, so you need 750 points a day to hit tier 4. Oh,
okay. Shiva sigils, guarantee gear legendary, 3,500 flasks. All right, it's all right. It's nothing too crazy.
It's nothing insane, but the fact that there's 18 days left to hit it, and there's bound to be realm bosses.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be mini events that you do. Adventurers Hall for gym chests that is similar to the realm boss that we had for gyms. Basically, with each hit, like with each monster that you kill, the multiplier increases, and it seems like you're going to have keys to open that main thing. Ooh. We saw the blog, and it looked like, obviously the blog post was a glitch. Okay. But from what we could read from it, when it does happen, it'll happen every 2 hours, and it'll be gem chest, and so Guild Adventurers Hall is going to start dropping gems. That'll
be nice, because I got a tile for it, and I love the tile, but at the same time, I'd like to get more gems. I'm greedy sometimes.
Yeah, I'm really curious if there's going to be any nightmare gems and whatnot in the Guild Adventurers Hall. Like I said, the blog post disappeared really quick, so it must have been a glitch. Not supposed to post yet. Right. But, like, that happened last night with the Elemental Mayhem. Yes. The blog post popped for 5, 10, 15 minutes or whatever, and then all this was gone, and then the event pops up, yes, 4 hours later.
Yep. I try to keep up with the blog, but it's just, you guys catch it pretty fast. You got somebody looking for it, so that's really neat.
Well, that's one of the things about having the littles, and that's online. Like the Mayhem blog last night, I totally missed it. Somebody else posted that it was there, and I was like, sweet. This one I didn't catch either.
Yeah.
I was the one who got it.
Yeah,
So.
nice. Well, to finish it up, you want to tell us what you're working on, what your future goals are for in-game?
I mean, my end goals and my goals right now are, and what they've always been are always the same thing, and that's mostly just to enjoy playing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't see sinking this much money into something that I don't enjoy.
Right.
And continue meeting people that, I wouldn't have otherwise met.
Yeah.
I mean, I met one of my, Xena, her and I talk. We don't talk nearly as often as I think either one of us would like, but she, in the last year, she's quickly become like one of my best friends.
Wow.
And I would have never met her otherwise. So I think, the relationships that you build,
mm-hmm.
you can carry them on to other games. And so I like making those relationships.
Right.
Talking to people outside of the game. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so it's nice to have a conversation with somebody who's not 3 or 4 or 5. And that's what this game gives. So as long as AO, everybody can stay together and have a place that, they feel safe and, happy and enjoy continuing to play, then, I'm happy.
There we go. Any shout outs you want to make before we close it down? Any threats?
Spartan took a hell of a hit tonight, and didn't burn.
Congrats.
King Kana, he asked King Kana to test him to see if he would burn, and King Kana did not let him down. It was a hell of a hit, and Spartan wasn't online, and he took it like a champ, didn't burn. I was really super impressed.
Wow.
His defenses have always been really awesome, but tonight he did a really awesome job with that, so I have to congratulate him on that.
There we go. What level is your little one?
I'm sorry?
What level was he? Not Canna. Canna's up in the 70s, but you're little.
Spartan?
Yes.
He is... I know he's hit 60s.
Okay, that's good. Okay, he's a mid-60.
I want to say... Yeah, I think he's 62 last time I saw him. Yeah, 62.
Very nice.
And, to take a hit from Kana with, Elementals and Leviathan, because Kana's got a pretty beast Leviathan already.
Right.
And he took the hit like a champ. So he's got a really nice build. So I got to give him credit. He didn't have on the right hero or the right gear or anything, and he still managed to not burn. So.
Wow. No traps, obviously. He didn't have traps.
No, he did have traps, but like I said, you need traps if you have guardians.
Okay, you need traps.
If you have guardians, traps keep your guardians alive.
Okay, gotcha.
But when I say have guardians, gotta have a solid amount.
Okay, we're talking about a good 500k or more.
If you have Crown's Guard and a mix of everything above Crowns, 500k is an okay number.
Right.
Your end goal should be probably closer to 750, depending on how many crowns you have, how many Undying, Shield, Goldens,
right,
whatnot.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Neat. Well, Ferg, it's been nice having you on. Shout out to Big Papa Ferg over there. Thank you for letting us chat. You guys keep growing, and hopefully we dig up more stuff about AO and the mystery behind the little alliance you guys got going in Realm.
And it's so funny. I'm when you find out what the mystery alliance is, I gotta know, because I need to get in on that, because
LDSL, L50, LD50.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm messing with you now.
Everybody knows we White has our back, and White knows we have his.
Right.
and that goes for everybody who's in LD50.
Look at what just popped up on the event rewards. Sorry to interrupt you, but what is this?
There we go. That's the raid boss that I was telling you about.
So it's in the actual dungeon?
Yep. So it's in Guild Adventurers Hall, and what it does is it drops gem chest, and like I said, similar to the realm boss.
Yes.
You know, you got the chest, and
yes.
you use the keys, and the more bosses that you kill, the higher your multiplier increases. It should repeat every 2 hours, based on the old blog post.
Okay.
And make sure you use your key at the end.
Oh, use the key at the end. So this bronze tier chest, don't open it up.
If you're looking, it depends on where you're. So the ultimate event rewards.
Okay.
When you hit the view rewards, the Blitz Bomb ultimate rewards chest tier 1.
Let me see here. Blitz Bomb. La, la, la. No, I think I'm looking at something different. What are you looking at? I don't know what you're looking at.
So look at the side of so when you're looking at your empire, right?
Yes.
Your sit and all your buildings.
Yep.
Look right above the events tab.
Yep, there's that chest ultimate event rewards.
Yeah, when you click on that, and then at the bottom you'll see the blue button that hits view rewards.
Yep.
So if you get a key for that, you want to.
You don't have an unlock for it right now? The bronze tier chest?
I don't know if I have an unlock. Oh, I can hit claim. Yeah, but
so,
you don't want to move it until the end.
Okay, don't hit it till the end. Gotcha.
Because
Raja.
The multiplier, as many times as you do this event,
yes,
will continue to grow, and so all those rewards that you have in there are going to continue to get higher and higher and higher.
Gotcha. And the max, I think, is just a little. Wait, damage the mountain tornado within the Blitz Bomb dungeon guild hall. What? Have you looked into guild hall yet?
Yeah, so we're currently running the guild hall. So basically, it's as you kill the monsters. So
they're random then.
You know, it just spawned. By the looks of it, it's not that it's random.
Maybe I gotta update my page. Okay, I see. Okay, yeah, I probably gotta update my.
We are 25% of the way through the first boss.
Mm-hmm.
If for some reason, like basically, if it was that there was only one boss, we should be 25% of the way completed with this hall, and we're not.
Right.
So there are, I think, all 4 bosses are in the one hall, and the goal is to finish as many of them as possible.
Okay. Cool.
As many. Now it's a short timer. The timer for the hall looks like it's 15 minutes.
What are the drops?
Was it 15 minutes?
It's 155. You got solo event 155.
So it's kind of like the Blitz raid boss.
Okay.
Or the night gear.
Yep.
It's really hard to kill the monsters. So I haven't seen. We're killing the first monster now. We are now almost 50% of the way through with it.
Okay.
So once we get it killed, then I'll know. But it should be gem. But from the blog post, it should be gem chest, basically just like the gem chest that you got from the boss monster.
Perfect.
From the boss monster.
Perfect. Well, Ferg, thank you for getting on, and it's been a pleasure. Sorry to kick you off.
Oh no, you're fine.
Go. Yes, gonna go run the hall, and everybody that tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll have you on here soon. Hopefully, we get Papa Ferg on here.
Sometime soon, I'm sure he will.
Love to hear his input. Later, Ferg.
Bye.
Well, guys, that was Aferg from AO. She is the R4, R5 leader. She runs the guild pretty necessarily. There's a new event I really want to hop on, so thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we get more sound bites in the near future, but hopefully you enjoyed the show. This has been Jericho Report. I am out. You guys have a phenomenal night. Get those tokens and complete those events. Treat everybody with respect and play like you enjoy it.